Howdy gangsters, what's up? Chris Udemy here, lovely to see you all again. Today we're going to be looking at the second solo right in the middle of Rock You Like a Hurricane by Scorpions. Let's take a look. Okay guys, let's have a look at the first section. We're going to start off with this little tap legato idea with the rubbing tap. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 2 hammer-ons into a pull-off, going 12-15 on the second string. There should be 5 notes there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then I'm going to tap 15 and then slide that up. Now with a bit more distortion, this sounds outlandish, but I've got those 5 notes in the rub tap. Then I do it again, but I'm just going to do a hammer-on, pull-off, and then a rub tap. So we've got, I'm going to do it a second time with the 3-note idea with the rub tap. And at the end of that, as soon as I pull off that tap after the 3rd rub, I'm going to do another hammer-on, pull-off. So we're going to have this from the start. And there's a big slide out of that. Then after that, I work into this E minor pentatonic lick. Let's slow that down. You'll notice that I'm sort of working in 16th notes and I'm doubling up a lot of those notes. So I'm going, these are the leading notes. I start from 14 of the 5th string. I want to hit that twice. Then 2 on the 12 of the 4th and 2 on the 14 of the 4th. Then from that point, let's slow that down. I'm playing 12, 14 on the 3rd string, 12 of the 2nd, back to 14 of the 3rd. And I'm obviously double picking all of those notes. So this is what we should have so far of that pentatonic lick. At the end of that, I'm just working straight up the E minor pentatonic, 12-15 on the 2nd string, 12-15 of the 1st. Once again, we're going to be double picking everything. All together. At the end of that, got a double bend on 17 of the 1st string. And then I work into that big delicious phrase after that, which is this. I'll play it slowly and then we'll work through it together. Let's slow that down. I've got 2 bends from 15 of the 2nd string. At the end of that, working down the E minor pentatonic, playing 12 of the 1st, pulling off 15, 12 on the 2nd, jumping to 14 of the 3rd. So from the phrase here now, from that bend on 17 rather. At the end of that, I'm going to hit that 14 again and bend it in and out into a pull-off. So I'm bending up and back on 14 to the 3rd, pulling off to 12 and then jumping to 14 to the 4th string. The hardest bit for me is sort of doing that extra 15 bend and then having an extra 14 as well. Kind of sort of has this weird little hopping sound to it. It's a little bit strange, but it is cool. Let's go right back to the start of the section, put everything together, and then we'll do it again even slower with some taps. One more time with some taps. All right, guys, let's have a look at the next section. It's going to start off with this phrase. It's a very simple idea. I'm still around the E minor pentatonic using double stops. I'm just using a cheeky Dorian major 6 in there as well. So I'm playing the 14th fret of the 2nd and the 3rd string as a mini chord. I bend it in and out, and then I want to pull off to 12 on both of those strings as well. And then I'm going to go to 14 of the 4th string. I'm going to repeat that phrase 3 times. 1, 2, 3, Hopefully that's all making sense. Then I work into this phrase. So what I've got here, I'm kind of doing some cheeky hybrid picking here. If you want to do the string crossing thing, you can, but just that chicken picking, hybrid picking thing can be a nice little thing that you can do. So I'm playing open on the 3rd string and then open on the 5th, and then 1st fret on the 3rd string, and then I play the 5th string again. At the end of that, I'm playing 2, 3, 4, so it's kind of going chromatically from the open note to the 4th fret of the 3rd string. I've just got a couple of those open notes on the 5th string as well. When I get to the 4th fret of the 3rd string, you can add that cheeky pinch harmonic, and then we work into that sort of sliding legato idea. Let's have a look at what we've got thus far, nice and slowly from the start, and then we'll work through the second half of the section. Okay, after that I work into this phrase. So on and so forth. We're going to work through this slowly, but the ideas and the timing stays pretty consistent. So I'm going to slide into the 4th fret of the 3rd string. Then I'm going to do a hammer-on pull-off going 3, 5, 3 on the 2nd string, jumping back up to the 4th fret on the 3rd string. From that point, we're going to slide over 2 frets and then repeat that exact same phrase. So slide into 6, 5, 7, 5 is the hammer-on pull-off on the 2nd string, back up to 6 of the 3rd, then that slides over to 9th fret. Then I do a very similar idea again. I'm going to slide into 9, and it goes 8, 10, 8, hammer on pull off, back to 9th fret of the 3rd. Okay, after that, I'm going to slide all the way up to 14 of the 3rd string. So we've got, it's getting a little bit more pentatonic-y. I'm going to play 12, 15, 12 on the 2nd, then back up to 14 of the 3rd. Okay. Then we're going to repeat the first idea up an octave. So we're going to have, which is, we'll go through those frets a bit slower. I'm going to slide into 16, play 15, 17, 15 on the 2nd, then back to 16 on the 3rd, up 2 frets, slide to 18, 17, 19, 17 on the 2nd string. That's going to slide up to 21 on the 3rd. So we've got, from that point, what I've got here is it's going 20, 22, back to 20 on the 2nd string, back up to 21 of the 3rd. At the end of that, we're going to work our way into the 3rd section by playing 20 to 22 on the 2nd string as a hammer, and then 19, 22, 19 as a hammer and pull off on the 1st. Let's go through this whole sliding hammer and pull off phrase nice and slow. Okay, let's go right back to the start of the section now, play it again at a gentleman's pace, and then again even slow with some tabs. One more time with some tabs. All right, guys, let's have a look at the 3rd section. I'm going to start with a bend from 22 of the 2nd string. Then underneath that, I'm playing 22 on the 1st. At the end of that, I had 2 more bends from 22 on the 2nd string, and I slid off on the 2nd one. Then I work into this phrase. Let's slow that down. I'm kind of working through, I guess this would be the 4th position of the E minor pentatonic, if that makes sense. We're just really high because we're between the 19th and the 22nd fret. So we're going to start off on the 5th string by playing 19, 22. Then I've got a chromatic roll playing 19, 20, 21 on the 4th string. Then I go down a string, a very similar idea, but the emphasis of the picking and the legato changes a tiny bit. I play 19 and then hammer 20 to 21. Just adds in a different slight sort of rhythm change that I think it sounds better than going, sort of loses a bit of the rhythm if you legato too much. At the end of that, I was playing 20 to 22 on the 2nd string. Let's have a look at what we've got thus far from the start, a little bit slower. At the end of that, I've got a bend from 22 of the second string, then I play a regular 22 on the first string, then I hit it again with a cheeky bend. So we've got, at the end of that I work into this phrase. Once again, we've got a bit of a string skip thing, just because I'm such a hybrid picky kind of guy. I love the shortcut of it. It just makes things a bit easier. I'm starting from 19 of the fourth string, and I'm doing the string skip to 22 of the second string. And from that point, I play 19 of the fourth to 19 of the third. Once again, back to that octave string skip, I'm going back to 19 of the fourth, 22 of the second. Altogether, that's going to sound like this. At the end of that, I'm just working my way up the scale quite diatonically. I'm playing 21 of the third string, then I play 19, 20, 22 on the second and first string. That's going to sound like this. And that is all of the third section. So let's go right back to the start of this section, play it again at a gentleman's pace, and then we'll do it again even slower with some tabs. One more time with some tabs. All right, guys, last section. We're going to start off with 4 bends from 22 of the first string. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I work into this phrase. So we've got a leading note after we've done those 4 bends. 1, 2, 3, 4. Back to 19 in the first string, and then we go. Let's slow that down. Those first 4 notes, I'm playing 22, 20, 19 on the first, then jumping to 22 of the second string. Then just working my way down the scale, I'm going to play 20 to 19 on the first and 22 to 20 on the second. At the end of that, quick hammer on pull off going 19, 20, 19 on the first string and then 22 to 20 on the second string. All together. So from the start now. At the end of that, big position shift here. I'm going to be playing 11, 12, 11 on the second string, jumping to 12 of the third. Okay, so we've got at the end of that, let's slow that down. I'm playing from 14 of the fourth string, and then I've got 2 pull-offs from 12 to 11 with a hammer on in between. And then from that point, I'm going to go back to 14 of the fourth string, so it'll go like this. Now there's a very similar idea again, but instead of going 12, 11, 12, 11, it's going to go 11, 12, 11. So it's going to be more of a hammer on pull-off then a pull-off, hammer, pull-off. So we've got this. Hopefully that's making sense. Then I work into this phrase. Let's slow that down. I'm going to hammer on open to 2 on the fourth string. And from that point, I'm going to do 2 bends from 2 of the third string, and then I pull off to the open note. At the end, jumping to 2 of the fourth, and then I want to play open 2 on the third string. So let's put together what we've got of that chunk. At the end of that, I'm going to work up chromatically, 3, 4, 5, all on the third string. At the end of that, I'm going to play a double stop on 7 of the second and the third string, and add some cheeky whammy to sort of vibrate that chord. And that's all of the fourth section. Let's go right back to the start of this section at a gentleman's pace, and then we'll do it again even slower with some tabs. One more time with some tabs. And that was the second solo from Rock You Like a Hurricane by Scorpions. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already done so. And please click the links in the description box if you want tabs for this lesson and anything else that I do. All my personal transcriptions and tabs and stuff are up on the Patreon, as well as some bonus content, course giveaways, hopefully some physical giveaways in the not too distant future. So I've got my most recent book, Shred Guitar Improvisation, out now if you want to up your understanding of improvisation, phrasing, chord targeting, different sequences, all of that jazz. I also have my second book, Rock Guitar Mode Mastery, if you want to up your understanding of the 7 modes, how to use them in a composition and improvisational context. And of course, my first book, Ultimate Shred Machine, is out now if you want to up your chops in shredding, sweeping, legato, and tapping. Anyway, lovely to share this excellent lesson with you guys. I hope you're getting all pumped for Christmas, and I will see you guys all soon, perchance in the new year. We'll see how I go with creating some content over the next couple of days. Mwah.